Hi everyone, this is Dari from VPC Network. Today I'm going to talking about an interesting topic, which is they called VPN between AWS and Google Cloud GCP. The idea from this session actually is just to know how to configure the VPN in each platform, AWS and GCP. I don't think so. There is a scenario right now need to connect VPN between AWS and GCP, but maybe in the future you need that type of connection. I will start with AWS, and after that I will go with the GCP. Then I try to show you here something or some point before we start here. So I'm gonna start with AWS. As you know, we need to do the subnetting and VPC first and subnet. And I already created VPC and subnet, and as well EC2 join to the specific subnet, which is 192.168.1. whatever. And after that, I will configure with you VPN gateway. This is the first point we need to do. Then after that, VPN gateway in AWS, we just need a BGP autonomous system and name for this one. Then after that, we configure something they call a customer gateway, VPN customer gateway, which is mean the information of the peer, the information of the GCP, as you can see here. Which information? I need the public IP from GCP, and I need the BGP autonomous system as well from the Google. The number 3, we will configure the VPN side to side, which is mean we will put it in the one box. We will put it the customer gateway and the VPN gateway in the VPN side-to-side configuration. Then we will put it as well. The result from this configure, we get 2 tunnel interface, and this 2 tunnel interface included 2 public IP and 2 private IP. All right. So once done in AWS part, we will go to the GCP part here. We will configure as well. We already configured subnet and VPN and as well VM. We will configure first cloud router, which is need the name and BGP autonomous system. Then number 1 or second, we will configure the VPN gateway as well in the GCP part. Then number 2, we will configure something they call peering, VPN peering inside the GCP, which is the information for this tunnel. Okay, we need to configure the information or the public information for this tunnel, public IP address. We need that. Okay, when done this one, we will configure the number 3 option here, or the VPN tunnel. The VPN tunnel, it is the configuration for the BGP session, which is as well we need the information of the tunnel, but we need as well the information of the private IP for that tunnel. All right. After that, the VPN will be established between them. The target actually for this lab, we need ping, or we need to make the connection between this EC2 to this VM, to the VM in VPC Cloud. If we can access and do ping between them or SSH or whatever, means our lab will be done and everything will be good. I will start with the AWS first, but before that, as you can see in AWS, I need the information. You see this first part, the second part here. I need here a public IP from GCP. So I will create public IP first in GCP. All right, I start with the GCP first. So I go here to the Google Cloud Platform. First, I go to the network, VPC. In the network, there is a second option they call external IP address. I need to create a public IP address, reserve static IP address public. So I just put it here, whatever any name, I will say VPN 00. Then after that, I will say reserve. So they give me the IP, public IP address here. I need this public IP address when I configure the VPN in AWS. So I have here this IP, so I need to copy this IP. All right. I will go to AWS. Here I'm in the AWS. I created the instance here, computer here. I go to the VPC. I show you very quick what I did already in AWS. I create VPC. I have here one VPC, and the CIDR for this VPC 192.168.00/16, as you can see here. You can put it wherever, any network. Again, this network will be the private inside the VPN tunnel. All right, I create one subnet from this big range, which is 192.168.1.0/24. Then I create internet gateway in order to access the EC2. This is the internet gateway, and I will go, I already configure in route table here. Wherever anything in the internet, use this default gateway, which is the internet gateway. By the way, we need the internet gateway only to access to the EC2 for test, because the VPN itself between GCP and AWS, they use the public IP different. It's not here. It's not that one. It's not this internet gateway. All right. Now let's go to create. As you can see here, let's go to the first one here, which is create the AWS or VPN gateway. I will go to the VPN here. You can see the second line here under VPN. Underneath it in the VPN here, they call virtual private gateway. I prefer to put it this one at the first one. Anyway, maybe Amazon, they change this place because usually you create this one first. So I go to the create virtual here. I just put it AWS VPN, AWS-VPN. All right. So I can select here customize autonomous system, but well, he will give me this one actually, the same number. We need that number later on. Okay. So I would say, okay, give me the default one they created here to me. So I have a gateway. As you can see, they give me this autonomous system. We need this one later on. I need to join or attach this VPN gateway to the VPC. I say attach to the VPC. I have only one VPC, this one. So this means only the VPC1, which is the network 192.168.0.0/16, can go or can use this gateway for the VPN. All right, cool. The attaches take a little bit time. When this one done, I can go to the customer gateway. Here, the customer gateway, again, I need the public IP. I already copied it, right? So I go here, I see it, create public IP or create the customer gateway. Again, I'm configure right now number 2. Let me just make it a little bit here. I configure right now this one done. This one done. So I configure right now this one. Okay. So I will go to put it name here. I can say this is GCP-P-info. This is the information of the info. This is the information of the GCP. I need a route dynamic here, and the IP address is this one, this IP. And how about the autonomous system for the GCP? What is the autonomous system? I will use this. I'll put it here. My autonomous system 65444. I will use this, okay? Because all the BGP autonomous system is all private. You can use a huge range. As you can see here, this is the range, okay? So this is the public IP from another side. And I don't have any certificate, and say device right now is an option. I don't, of course the device is another peer, which is the GCP. So I create the gateway here, and the customer gateway actually is the customer gateway now is ready as well. Let's go to the VPN, but before to go to the VPN, just make sure the virtual private gateway is ready. Yeah, attach it. Cool. So I go to the side-to-side VPN here and create side-to-side VPN. And I will say this guy, it is between AWS to GCP. All right, this name, then I will say yes, Virtual Private Gateway. There is another option they call Transit Gateway. The new stuff from AWS is a good as well. Maybe we do a class later on for Transit Gateway. Virtual Private Gateway, which is I already created AWS VPN Gateway. Then how about the customer gateway? Yeah, GCP information, GCP peering information. I already selected here. Then another question here. They asked me, do you want to do the BGP peering dynamic? Yes. How about the IP address tunnel? AWS will provide to you 2 tunnel, as you can see here, and each tunnel need to use the share key. So I will say the share key here. I will say AWS GCP 123. Also the same key here. I will put it here, pure share key here to the another key as well. I can use, it's not recommended of course to use the same key, but this is just for test. All right, you can use the private IP here from your side, but the AWS always force you to use 169.254. whatever. So you can use in this range, but you can put it like a default. They will use it from this range, private IP. How about the IPsec phase 1 and 2, which is the encryption? This is all default, as you can see here. You just leave it default because another side, Google or GCP, is make the same thing, same default criteria here. So I will keep it default here. Then I just create VPN connection here. All right, from AWS, I'm almost ready here because you can see here they provide to me 2 tunnel with the 2 public IP I needed there in GCP and 2 private IP. You can see from the range 169.254. All right, in AWS everything ready. So let's go to the GCP and continue the configuration. All right, before go to the GCP, let's make sure here everything is okay. I done as well here, and I done this one as well, and I done this one here. So in GCP, I will start, I have already public IP. I will start with the VPN gateway with this 3 thing here. But before that is very, very important. I need to create the Google cloud router, this guy first. Okay, so number 0 first. So I go again to the hybrid connectivity, then I go to the cloud router here. In the cloud router here, I can create that router here. Then I just give him a name, VPN router here. Then I select the network, which is the VPC. Then I select the region, all my configuration under one region, which is US Central. Then Google Autonomous System. You remember I just select 65444. Why? Because it's already here free. You can use this range, as you can see. So 65444, I prefer to use it in Google, which is I already configured it here. If you remember, I already configured it here in the customer gateway. You remember in the customer gateway, I select 65444. All right. This is for Google, which is I use it right now. Okay, I create. This is a very important thing here. They say, hey, the Google cloud router here will be advertisement all the network under the VPN from this option. If you need to more specific, you can create customer router here or customer route. Then you can select which network you need to advertisement through the BGP. Right now, only I need everything. Okay, so the router VPN ready now, as you can see here. Cool. So I go to the VPN here and I will start to configure the VPN. All right, they ask you, do you want to high availability VPN here, which is they provide to you 2 tunnel, or you need a classic? Actually, I will do for a classic and I can make more than 1 tunnel, no problem. So I go to the classic here, then I continue here. Let me create the gateway first to show you all the option. As you can see, I can create here VPN 1, or let me put it 01. Okay. VPN gateway name. Again, I'm working now. This one done. VPN router. Now I create this guy, which is the VPN gateway. Which network you want it to do? Of course, I have one VPC here. Then which region? This one here. The very important thing, what is your public IP we're gonna use? Yeah, of course I have only one public IP here, which is the name is VPN 00. I don't want the rest of it because I need to show you this is only the configuration for VPN. Another option, you can cancel it. Then after that I say create. Once when you create the gateway, as you can see here, you create one gateway, and there is another extra option they call Cloud VPN Tunnel and Peer VPN Gateway. All right, so I will go to the Peer VPN Gateway. When I go to the Peer, they ask me to create Peer. All right, in Peer here, we need to say this is AWS. Cannot capital here. AWS Peer info. All right, the information for AWS. How many interface you want? Of course I need 2 because the tunnel up there, as you can see, if I go to the VPN here, the tunnel up there in the VPN side to side, it is 2 tunnel. As you can see here, I have 2 tunnel here. All right, so I will say 2 interface here. They say, okay, give me the first IP address. Okay, first IP address, this one, tunnel 1. In GCP, they call it 0. All right, the first one. Then I will get another IP address. Both IPs, it is the public IP address. Cool, I created here. This is the peering is done as well, as you can see here. So we can say the peering here, tunnel or peering VPN is done as well. As you can see, we need the tunnel public IP. All right, this tunnel public IP. So after that, we go to the Cloud VPN tunnel. I create Cloud VPN tunnel here. First, they call select the Cloud VPN gateway, which is I have one gateway I already created. Continue. Now we configure the tunnel 1 information. They say give me the information for the tunnel 1. Again, I need a public IP here. From here, copy the first IP. I go to put it here. I create now the first session information. Again, I don't need to change anything. IKEv2 and all the information for the IPsec is already default between them, is matching between them. What is the pre-share key? If you remember the pre-share key, I did AWS GCP 123. Then after that, we need to configure, or we need to assign or tie the router here. You remember I created the VPN router. I have to select the router here. Then the BGP session. I go to the BGP session. I say this is for tunnel 1. And I say the peering Anthony mouse system. What is the Anthony mouse system? I go to the AWS. If you remember in a virtual gateway here, I have, this is my Anthony mouse system. Then I say, yes, my Anthony mouse system 64512. All right, here I need the private IP right now, link local, which is here. I just copy the tunnel. This is, I copy it and configure as a public. Now I need this guy. Remember, this is included 2IP/30. This is AWS provide to me. So I will put it the first one. I remove this one and +1, 113. Then I put it here as well again, and the plus another one, which is 114. This is 2IP I gonna use here. Cool. When I create this guy here, let me see the result. All right, you can see here they create the VPN tunnel first, the first one here for the first tunnel. You can create another one from the first thing here, and you can see they start to do the BGP first handshake. So the BGP start work for the first tunnel. Let's go to do the another tunnel. You can create the tunnel from here. Another way they can do it as well. You remember when you do the gateway, you can add from here, add VPN tunnel. I can do add VPN tunnel. Yes, this is tunnel 2. I can give him another IP as well. Just now I created, they call it tunnel2. Okay, let's put it like this, tunnel2. Okay, then they ask me what the IP address. All right, I go to the public first, then I put it up there. All right, then I leave it everything default. Then I go to the BGP, the router. I assign the router here. After that, the BGP session. The BGP session, they need a name. This is, they call, or the BGP session for the tunnel2. Tunnel2. What I did just now, the name is tunnel2. This is for tunnel2. A 10 mouse system again. I go to the VPN AWS, then I put it here. Then I go to create or get a copy from the tunnel or the second tunnel private IP address. All right, I just put it here. Then 5.6 will be 5.7 and 5.6 will be 5.8. All right, so I create another one as well. This is another way to create again pre-share key AWS GCP 123. All right. All right, this is the second tunnel here. As you can see, this is the second tunnel here. We'll create it first, handshake here. If I go here and I do refresh and see if there is any tunnel from them is up, perfect. One of them is up. All right, another tunnel look good here and is work. Now the time for test. I think EC2 here is ready, and let me check the IP address of this EC2. This EC2 should be 192.168.1. something. All right, this IP address of this EC2 192.168.65. I will create one virtual PC here in computing VM instance, and I will create here, this is they call VM or any name. I call it VM1. All right, this is the region here. Then this is the operating system. You can change as well. As you can see here, from here you can select whatever any operating system you want. I'm just need any machine to do the ping only. I just need to make sure the connection is okay, and I need to allow HTTP and HTTPS as well. And you have to make sure join to the specific network which is under the VPN. So I will select the network from here, and I will change the default network to my network, which is IP range default. I just change it to the VPC01, which is 10.10.10.0/24. Everything is okay. I just say done, create. So in the same time here, I will go to during that time, I just go there and I copy the public IP for this computer here. Then I try to access the PC. Okay, I already turned on the EC2 and already accessed as well. And this is the IP for EC2 in AWS. So I try to ping to the Google VM, which is 10.10.10.3. So I try to ping 10.10.10.3. Yeah, the ping doesn't work because the VPC inside the AWS, they don't know how to go to the 10.10.10. whatever. So what we need to do, we keep the ping is work here. You have to go to the network. There is two things actually. First, let me show you in the computer, you need in an instance, you need to make sure to allow the ping in the security group, which is assigned to the computer here or the server. I already allow it here. Inbound, as you can see here, I already allow it. Second thing, which is very important here, to go to the VPC and add the route here. Go to the route table here. In the route table here, go to the route. Before to go to the route, you go to the subnet. go to the subnet, associate, and just better to add the network here, which is we need to associate to the route. This is already associate, and go to the routes, edit route, and say 10. If you want to go to the 10.10.10.0/24, please use the default VPN gateway, which is virtual private gateway, VPN gateway. So which is AWS VPN, which is already created. All right. So I will save the configuration here. Now I have a route. Everything is okay now. Now the AWS is ready to send the traffic. The computer or the EC2, they know where to go if they're looking for 10.10.10. whatever. So the ping doesn't work because we need to add something in GCP, which is they call firewall rule. So you go to the firewall rules from the VPC. There is an option here they call firewall rules. By default, any new VPC, you can see ICMP only in the default. You needed to add in the VPC 0/1, which is our network 10.10.10.0 on it. So I will go to the create firewall rule. I will say this is for VPN 0-test. It's just for test. I don't want it log. And very important thing, you need to select this rules for which VPC in the VPC 0.1. Okay, don't put it default because all our work under VPC 0/1 or 0.1. All right, so direction, traffic increase and allow it. And the target, I need any instance. Okay, and the source as well, I need any source /0. Okay, and which protocol you want. Actually, I need ICMP, TCP, whatever you want, but let me put it like default, all protocol right now. I allow it all just for test. Then once created, should be the ping is there. Yeah, perfect. The ping is come up here, and the VPN, as you can see here, is the connection established and the traffic between them through the ping. Of course, if you need to do SSH, you need to do the public key, private key, all those stuff, and you can do the ping between them. If I go to the GCP here, if I can ping to the from VPC, I just select the VPC here. Then after that, I can go to the first thing, open in the browse windows. This is the cool feature inside the GCP. Then from there, we try to do ping to the EC2. So the EC2 IP address 192.168.1.65. So let's try to do it. From here, I just do ping to 192.168.1.65. Enter. As you can see here as well, I have a reply between AWS and GCP through the VPN, GCP and AWS. All right, this is all about this demo. I hope this information is useful for you, and thank you for watching.